Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Ray Goots. Welcome to Goots' Wrestling Pod. For the YouTubers, for people who watch us on YouTube, last week's episode got cut off by 20 minutes, only 32 minutes uploaded. It's supposed to be 53 minutes. I blame my cat. I don't know how to fix that. I upload directly through the podcast thing. I don't know how that happened on their end, but I have a different YouTube account. I will be uploading the full episode with video on that YouTube account, and I will put the link in the description of this episode if you want to see the full episode on YouTube, or you can just download. You can just be a normal human being and download the episode on our
Yeah,
podcast feed.
listen to the audio, or if you want me to summarize it for you, don't watch the rest of that pay per
Don't
view.
don't
There you go.
don't watch Bash at the Beach '95.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it. Do something else with your
Yes.
life.
Speaking of another pay per view you shouldn't watch, right? Oh my
Um,
god.
can I just say the thing with this episode is this pay-per-view. This is the thing about 95, more so than anything else. And I watched some highlights of Nitros as best as I could because Peacock, you fast forward and Peacock shoves a commercial up your ass. Um, this era is just deeply uncool. And there's
Yeah.
something so the start of this show is so not cool. It's just the worst country western music. It's there's just this uncoolness to the WWF right now. And well, I'll say this. WCW fixes that. Those nitros, man. Dude, you know there was nitro that main evented with Sting versus Dean Malenko?
Wow, Sting versus Dean Malenko.
Yeah, and there's like Benoit versus New Japan guys. You know, Eric Bischoff did Tony's Khan strategy before Tony Khan did his strategy, but
No,
he
no, no,
did it.
no. Tony Khan is trying to do Eric Bischoff's strategy.
Yeah,
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to emulate that while shitting on Eric Bischoff at the same time. But the only
dude, I
thing
want
is he's 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 not doing a good enough job because
to. He's
Eric
not.
Bischoff, if Tony Khan was smart and he looked at WCW in the big picture, it wasn't filled from top to bottom with bangers, right? It was like
Mhm.
you had those banger matches, like you mentioned, with your Benoits and your Dean Malenkos and the cruiserweights and the Japan guys, but you also had like
Good story.
storyline stuff with NWO and stuff like that, and with the Four Horsemen and stuff like that. You know?
I will say, I think the early Nitros, the work rate helped them because the storylines are pretty. I mean, it's literally Hogan streaming out the Dungeon of Doom for the first 20 minutes of one episode, and then the last 30 minutes is Sting and Dean Malenko. So, like, I do think people were like, I'll sit through Hogan yelling about the Dungeon of Doom to get to
Mm-hmm.
Sting, Dean Malenko. But I think there's only so much of that you can give people, and then they need a story. And I think
Yes.
that's when the NWO kicked in. And then you're having Juventud versus Rey Mysterio, but then you're also getting like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash being the shit out of the Dungeon of Doom. You know,
And I think in WWF at this time in 1995, it's definitely it feels like they're trying to find who they are. They
yeah,
just went through this whole thing with Hogan, right? With the cartoony characters. They're still kind of in the cartoony characters, but I think they're starting to, I think, realize that these cartoony characters aren't going. So that's why
hmm
they're having guys like maybe like a Savio Vega show up, and like they're trying to make they made men on a mission less cartoony, you know? And so you could see they're trying to find their like voice, I guess you could say. They're trying to find like where their rhythm is. But this is that awkward stage where they're going from like what used to work and they're trying to transition to like what can we do next, and they haven't figured it out yet. They haven't completely figured it out in 1995.
no. I'll say this to the other thing is like, even the thing I liked the most on this card, which was Shawn Michaels versus Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
There's something just not cool about Shawn Michaels. There's something that's just the way he dances is like when I was a kid and I would put it on, and around this era he's always the star of the highlights, right? And he's doing his fucking dumb dance. I was like, this is so fucking corny and stupid. And even though this guy is the best worker in the world at this point, He's just not. I just don't want to see him, and that's the thing I think that you have to consider when you're Tony Khan. You can be the best worker in the world, but if you have the stench of loser on you, no one's gonna fucking watch. You know?
But we watched this. So let's get right into it. In Your House 2, taking place July 23rd of 1995 in Nashville, Tennessee. 6,482 people are in attendance. Pretty low attendance for WWF at this time. 280,000 pay-per-view buys. So let's compare. In Your House, the first one, had 332,000 pay-per-view buys. But the King of the Ring, which will come right after In Your House 2, will have 150,000 buys. So you're seeing a disinterest in the audience month per month going down. People just don't care about this In Your House or this King of the Ring. We get a sports entertainment graphic. They're already using the term sports entertainment. And we get, because this is in Nashville, of course, Music City, we get this In Your House opening montage with a custom In Your House country song. I won't lie.
Horrible.
No, I mean, they customized the lyrics. I'm like,
Dude, it was so fucking corny. It's in your house. It's like so like this is not why I got into this, dude. Like this is so fucking cheesy.
How does the country song go, man?
You're in your house. We're in your house. Da, 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 da. Shut the fuck up.
Even WCW was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they love the country shit. They're probably like, "What the fuck is this?"
The Nitro theme goes hard. That was like a fucking man. Dude, they are. I'll tell you this much: as bad as Bash the Beach '95 was, WWF was a sitting duck in this era. They really were, and also they were a sitting duck in 2019 when AEW showed up. But like. Man, they were ready to be conquered, bro. They were ready to be conquered.
Yes. Vince McMahon and Jerry King Lawler in full country gear.
Mm-hmm.
He's got even a cowboy hat and everything on. They're on gonna be commentary. They run down the card, and we're gonna go right into our first match. It is the 1-2-3 Kid versus the Roadie. The Kid starts attacking Roadie as he's walking down the aisle, and then Kid takes it to him in the ring as well. Roadie hits a power slam as they show Double J in the locker room with a monitor of this match, but he is not paying attention to this match. He's only focusing on himself and his match and his performance later on tonight. After a beatdown, the Roadie, he misses a splash, which allows the 1-2-3 Kid to start fighting back. Roadie hits a second turnbuckle pile driver to win the match. That's right. It was a crazy move to see in a WBF match. And then after he wins, he starts gyrating afterwards. And then he goes on the stage where Jeff Jarrett's going to be performing later, and he checks the equipment. I gave this opening match a C. It's average.
I did not like the match. I was very surprised someone as uncoordinated and as untalented in the ring as the Road Dogg attempted the pile driver and pulled it off. I'm wondering
if dangerous. Off the second top rope, right? Like a pile driver.
Especially
they don't even do that now. They don't even do that move now. You know
especially because how when we really get into New Age Outlaws era, he's not a good worker whatsoever. So for him to attempt that move, to me, is crazy. But he did it. I'm really hoping was that really so you know what happens on this show, right? You know the big scandal, right?
What's the big scandal? Jeff Jarrett held him up?
Jeff Jarrett and Roadie leave. They just leave.
Yeah, they leave at the end. Well, if you listen to I think Roadie's version of it, Jeff Jarrett is the one who goes, "We're leaving," and he was like, "Come on, Roadie, we're leaving," and he made the decision for both of them.
Roadie, because their dad, Jeff's dad, said he could get him a sweet deal with WCW. So we'll get into it when we get to the Jeff Jarrett match. But I will say this. The Roadie wins. I actually like the fact that he went and did the sound check after his match. Like he's just goes back to work.
He's still a Roadie, yeah.
He goes to work and he has a swag. And I'll say this about Road Dogg. Road Dogg had a swag to him that well, I mean, he does become a huge baby face in the future,
And
but he's
let's be honest, in the late '90s, he's a huge star. He makes a
yeah.
lot of money, and you know what? That just
His
goes to
swag indicates he's a bigger star than his work rate or where he is in the card. But when he goes to check the mic and stuff, he goes, "I'm like, all right, so this guy's got a coolness to him that you can't teach." And but the match itself, not very good. These two never had good matches. They have a stinger at SummerSlam 2000 as well.
So the thing is, like, his brother, I would say, is a better worker than him, but that's the whole point. It doesn't
Doesn't
work
matter.
rate comes second, and charisma is number one. And
Yep.
Rhodey has a lot of charisma, and
Yep.
you know. Anyways, enough about that. We got Top Pettingill. He's in the back with the $1 million corporation, the whole stable, and they all take turns shitting on Diesel, cutting promos on him.
This was horrible. Tatanka, man, Tatanka should. They never should turn this guy heel.
They
He's one of
should
the
never
worst
turn
heels
him.
one of the worst heel turns I've ever seen in my life. He's horrible, and it's the Ricky Morton thing, and I can't believe Vince let him get away with this. And what I mean by that is he doesn't change his look, and now he's just a heel, and it's like it just comes across really
Well,
bad.
he stopped using the colorful colors.
It doesn't matter. He still looks like the same fucking guy from like 2 years ago. And the other thing, man, is man, they have killed Sid dead in record time. I mean, this guy shows up in March and it's June.
They should have never put him with the stable. He didn't need
No,
it.
he
He
didn't
didn't
need
need it.
this at all. He didn't need
No,
it at all. And the
he needed
moment they
to.
get him away from this stable in '96, he becomes the most over guy on the show.
You know what they should have done? They should have painted a baseball on his face and called him softball Sid, right? And he teamed up with Abe Knuckleball Shorts. That would have been
It,
awesome.
let me tell you, if Vince thought he could get away with it, he would have done it. I guarantee
Yeah.
you.
So after that, we get the mayor of merchandise, Barry Didinsky, who's in Diesel's locker room, and he's selling shirts, and he's talking about, "Hey, buy this shirt, guys!" And he starts talking to HBK, Shawn Michaels, and Diesel, who they both take turns making fun of his hair. They don't
Yeah.
even answer his question. They just go like, "Hey, how much is this rat on your head?" And he's just like, "All right, guys, forget it." He just gives up and he goes, "Back to you." Um,
Yeah, they shit on him right away, and
they shit on him right away. Yeah.
I felt bad for him because I could tell like he's just like I feel like he wanted to say, guys, I'm just Vince told me to do this. I don't actually give a shit about any of this, but
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the merchandise. I don't want to call
yeah.
myself the mayor of merchandise. I just want money, right?
Would you wear that shirt if someone gave it to you? Would you wear it?
Um, if I like out in public,
Yeah,
um, I
it's a
don't think
white shirt with Diesel and Sid on it. By the way,
so. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
I uh I like the general idea behind the shirt, but I don't know. My problem with that shirt is that it's white. And I don't like white people. No, I can't. I just if it was black, I might buy it. If I saw like a Target and it was like $10 black, I'd buy it. But the white thing, I don't know.
But it might have the nostalgia factor.
Oh, for people?
Yeah, like
Oh yeah, I guarantee you, if you put that on eBay, you're gonna sell it. So
yeah, yeah. Like I think I'm looking at it now. Yeah, I would wear it. Might as well. I would just wear it.
mm,
I wouldn't wear it everywhere. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of places I wouldn't wear it to, but I think you could kind of pull it off if you wear it like with a hoodie or something.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, let's go to match number 2. Men on a mission without Oscar, no more Oscar, versus Savio Vega and Razor Ramon, who still got the taped ribs. And Razor Ramon, as soon as he get in the ring, he rips them off and he throws them in Mabel's face. Mo and Razor, they start the match. And Mo gets his butt kicked, and then Mabel tags in and then Savio Vega tags in, and then Mabel just starts beating on Savio Vega. Mo misses a terrible top rope drop, moonsault, and then Razor gets hot tagged in. Mo does a terrible looking body slam on Razor Ramon. Then Mabel hits a side belly to belly on Razor Ramon to win the match. Um, before I give the grade, I just want to say, when I was a kid, somebody was a friend of mine who was a wrestling fan was shitting on Mo and saying Mo sucked. And I actually defended Mo and said, no, it's because he doesn't get a lot of time to wrestle, but if he wrestles, he's pretty good. I would like to say that I was wrong. Mo is
Yeah,
fucking
you were.
terrible. I don't know why I ever thought Mo was a good wrestler. This match was a C. I mean, like, it was a C because the other guys did try, but Mo is awful. Mo is not a good wrestler at all.
Uh, yeah, Mo is atrocious, and this match, man, they're really trying. I personally, I wouldn't have had him pin Razor. I would have had him pin Savio. I get what they're doing. You can't say that they say the Click held people down. Man, they put over fucking Mabel to Click. So
They did. They did.
uh, this was a rough match. This was not good. I think they have by the way, they are wasting Razor Ramon horribly this year. And this is another example. He should be wrestling. He has a great match next month. He wrestles Sean in the ladder match, but it's like a substitute. But they are just wasting his star power, dude. They're just wasting him and having him
Are
put
they
over
wasting
Mabel.
him because of them, or are they wasting him because of him? Meaning, is
Well,
he
I mean,
already is he already like too much into alcohol and drugs that they just can't trust him with anything? And that's why they're not
I mean,
putting.
I mean, I mean that might be it. But they were like they wanted to re-sign him. Vince was pissed that he wasn't re-signing in '96. So if he was that big of a fucking loser, why wouldn't you be like, oh, thank God WCW's taking him? They were pissed he left. They were upset. So
Yeah, but maybe like they want him on the show because he's a star, but they don't trust him enough to push him to the top.
that could be it. But I don't know. I this match wasn't good.
No,
Uh,
see, yeah,
they're not going to get their way with this guy.
just an average match, just an average pay per view so far.
Yeah.
Todd Pettengill, he's on the stage, for the Jeff Jarrett concert, and he starts talking to the backup singers. And then he goes to the drummer. He goes to the guitars. Then he goes to the drummer and he goes, "Hey, I always wanted to do this." And he starts scatting. He starts going, "Bibbidi bibbidi beep beep ba." And the drummer has to emulate the sound that Todd Pettengill made with his mouth, using with the drums. They do this a couple of times. Skibbity skibbity boobity ba. Right?
Dude, 2 hour pay per view. They're wasting time with this.
Doc Hendricks, he is with Diesel's Lumberjacks, the heel Lumberjacks. And Doc Hendricks says, "Hey, rumor has it that DiBiase, not the heel Lumberjacks, the face Lumberjacks, the good guys." And he goes, "Rumor has it that DiBiase bought one of you guys." And they all take turns accusing each other. The Guns say, "No, no, no, it's Man Mountain Rock." That's right. Former Max Payne is already here as Man Mountain Rock. And Mountain Rock says, "No way, I'm not taking that's dirty money." And then he goes, "I heard it was Adam Bomb," and Adam Bomb's like, "No way, I turned him down before, and I'll turn him down again if he asks me." Then Bam Bam Bigelow says, "Hey, if anybody knows about DiBiase, it's me, and it's not me." So they talk about this. This does not get brought up again at all. So
Ever.
why did they even do this stupid thing that DiBiase bought one of them? I thought
I think
when
I
they
think
did
just
this,
to
I
build
thought it was going to happen
intrigue.
again. What?
I think to build intrigue for the match because they knew they had
Oh.
nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, that was dumb. I actually was expecting somebody to turn, but nothing happened. Oh.
Yeah, nobody turns. I think it was just that they realized they have nothing, so they like we have to give people a hook for the end of the show. So
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That makes sense. That's a very carny thing to do. Rhodey's on the stage and he introduces Jeff Jarrett, who lip syncs "Baby Tonight" while the band actually plays the actual song.
and Road Dogg is singing in the back.
Oh, Road Dogg is singing in the back?
That's a, so the angle. So what thing is, I thought this performance was a home run. I thought this was the best thing on the show. I
This was a good performance, yes.
I, I thought this was the moment that Jeff Jarrett could have been a star. Here's the thing that makes this work. They're teasing Jeff Jarrett for 2 years is going to sing. He doesn't sing. He doesn't sing. So everyone, the assumption of the viewer is like, well, he's going to suck. The song's going to suck. He's going to suck. It's going to be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking thing that makes it worse, the song is actually good. And the
Yes.
performance from everyone is actually good, and Road Dogg is actually a great singer. So at the end of the show, after Jeff Jarrett loses to Shawn Michaels, him and Road Dogg were supposed to get to a fight in the ring. And then Road Dogg was going to reveal he was the singer. And then they were going to make Road Dogg into this big face. And they were also going to cut an album with him. And he was going to feud with Jeff Jarrett. And then that was the angle. Now, Jeff Jarrett felt, why reveal he's the lip singer, that he's at the actual singer now? Let's wait. Let's keep building it. Let's have me keep performing, keep writing new songs, and then we can reveal it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, let's just reveal it for WrestleMania. We'll have the match at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And Vince was like, no, I want to reveal it tonight. And at the end of the match, instead of having their confrontation, they just leave. Him and Road Dogg. They leave. They get out. They
Mhm.
walk out of the company. I think that was incredibly stupid of Jeff Jarrett. I thought Jeff Jarrett looked like a star. He had a great match with Shawn Michaels. And to me, this is the moment I realized Jeff Jarrett's a fucking idiot, and I lost all respect for him. Now, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think Jeff Jarrett was justified in leaving? Like
Why
literally
did
just walk. I've
he?
never heard of anyone doing this, by the way, on pay per
But
view
why
for
did he leave?
context.
Why did he leave?
He felt that they were blowing money, that they could draw more money drawing out the Road Dogg and Double J split. He
That's
did
the
not
reason
want to
why
do the
he
split
left.
that
Are
night.
you sure that's the reason why he left?
That's the reason he claims. I think the
I
reason
don't think that's the
is
real reason. I think that's bullshit. I think that's to do with like money. His dad said, "I can get you more
I
money."
think the real reason is his dad was consulting for WCW. His dad knew
Yeah,
Nitro was coming, and his dad probably said to him, "I will get you a ton of money. You show up on the first Nitro."
I think something like that probably is more like it likely. Now, do I think if they stayed, this storyline could have been good? I think so. It sounds like a good storyline. I think I would have been intrigued by
I,
it. I wish they had done
I
it.
think it would have been good because Jeff Jarrett, even though he's lip syncing, comes across as a star.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
he does it really well. It actually looks like him singing. You
yeah.
know? Yeah.
I think you could have built on this. I actually think, you know what? I actually think this would have led. I think he would have jobbed to the roadie at SummerSlam, but I think they would have put him against Diesel for the world title. I think he would have got a couple of world title matches against Diesel. I think they would have been like, all right, because he looks like a star and he's a great fucking worker, but he can't get out of his own fucking way. He's you know what I don't like about him, and I hear it on the pod, and I think Conrad Thompson's like this too. He's one of those guys that just he pats you on the back. He's really nice, tells you what you want to hear, but he's fucking you the entire time. And the moment you call him on you, the moment he realizes he's got you, he just completely fucks you. And I know Vincent's a piece of shit and whatever, fuck him. But to just walk out in the middle of a show like that, a live show, that to me is like a really scummy move. And I'm very surprised Vince gave this guy more shots. That to me is a real fucking. Can you imagine like fucking Roman like I don't know, like can you imagine instead of like when Kevin Owens loses at Royal Rumble, he just leaves the ring. They don't do the angle where he's getting hit with the chair by Roman and Sammy. He just walks out. Why would you ever want to work with that guy again?
Dude, Jeff Jarrett is such a carny. He even out carnies Vince McMahon because Vince
I
McMahon
know.
brings him back.
Brings him
He
back
knows
two
what
more
he's doing.
times. No,
Yeah,
three
he brought
times.
him back.
Three times.
Yeah, he brought him back 3 times, and in his documentary, he cries and he goes, "He has every right not to bring me back, but he does."
Wait,
And I
four
think it's because
times.
Jeff Jarrett knows like he's got him hook, line, and sinker somehow.
Hold
You
on,
know?
four times. He comes back at the end of '95. He comes back in '97. He comes back in 2018 to be an agent, and then
Hmm.
right before Vince gets caught, like with sexually, he hires him as the head of live events. So he gets brought back four fucking times by Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, he's got the juice. He knows. I don't know. Jeff Jarrett just knows what he's doing. Like he knows what he's doing.
But I always think with Jeff Jarrett is that he's more comfortable being a small fish, a big fish in a small pond than being a legit main eventer. Because I also think he was about to reach the next level during the China feud, and he holds up Vince for money again and leaves again, and he's the champion of a dying WCW. And I think he's more. I just that's why when Tony Khan signed him, I'm like, this guy has a stench of failure, and this guy always like he's just and look where they are now. They've been featuring Jeff Jarrett in a main role. But no, I love this performance. I'll say that. I
Yeah,
loved it.
this was good. Yeah. So after that performance, we get a SummerSlam promo video where Diesel is in some kind of hick neighborhood, and he picks up this somehow like when he shows up in the car, this woman, this hook woman, she turns into a hot babe and she gets in the car. I was like, I just thought that was really funny. This like promo video.
I think that's really funny that like, but also like, isn't she still like a 69-year-old woman? So
Yeah, yeah. She turns into like a hot woman when Diesel shows up somehow. And then they're like, "Hey, where did Martha go?" The Hicks are like, "Oh." After this,
I,
Todd Pettengill, he's with the fans, and he starts going, "Hey, did you guys like Jeff Jarrett's performance? Some like it, some think he stinks, but you know what? Like as we covered, it was actually pretty good."
Mhm.
Now we're gonna get into our third match. It is making his WWF pay-per-view debut.
No,
Henry
he's not.
O.
He was at the Royal Rumble, brother.
Was he?
Yeah, he was at the '95 Rumble. I think he
Oh,
was like in the final five.
oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Henry Godwin versus Bam Bam Bigelow. And it is a battle of the two big men. They're both huge and they just like taking hits. The fight spills outside with Godwin body slamming Bam Bam Bigelow on the outside. Both Bam Bam and Godwin, uh, they miss a move off the top, but when Godwin misses his splash, Bam Bam just kind of, it was more like a knee drop. He missed his knee drop. Bam Bam just rolls him up to win. This kind of came out of nowhere. I give this match a C. It was just like, eh.
Match sucked. Match sucked.
It's a
Um,
television match. Yeah.
Henry Godwin as a heel is weird to me, and the fact also that Henry Godwin, um, he just comes across as a shitty hillbilly Jim ripoff. It's like Vince had no good idea, so he's bringing back hillbilly Jim. But also like Bam Bam is checked out, and Henry Godwin's not good enough to work around that. It was big fucking waste
Yeah.
of time.
Bob Backlund is in the crowd, and he's talking to a kid with a sweet Kurt Cobain T-shirt. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
wanted to that Kurt Cobain T-shirt. Todd Pettengill, he is with Shawn Michaels, and who's cutting a promo. And while he's cutting a promo, he fumbles his words a bit, but Shawn improvises very nicely, and he gets in a little assist from Todd Pettengill, and they are able to get past that promo. That shows you what kind of how good Shawn Michaels was. Like he'll fucking like start stuttering and stuff, but then he'll like recover very nicely. You know, um,
Mhm.
that's what you got to have. You got to have that quick on your feet kind of mentality. Um, then the roadie comes out and he introduces Jeff Jarrett for the match number 4. It is for the Intercontinental title. Jeff Jarrett, the champion, versus Shawn Michaels. Starts off with a quick back and forth. It ends with a big punch from Jeff Jarrett, which sends Shawn Michaels to the outside. This was a big moment because it was right there that the crowd started going, "Oh shit, Jeff Jarrett could actually be like an obstacle for Shawn Michaels with that big punch." Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels returns the favor though with an eye poke. I love that. He comes back and just fucking eye pokes the guy, punches him, hit tosses him, and clotheslines Jeff Jarrett over the top rope, saying, "You still gotta fucking work a little harder if you want to tussle with me." Jeff Jarrett he goats Shawn Michaels to come outside, and he gets back in. When they get back in the ring, Jeff Jarrett has the upper hand until the roadie gets on the apron. Shawn Michaels sends Jeff Jarrett out to a roadie, and then they both collide. They both go outside the ring. Shawn Michaels climbs the top rope, and he does a crossbody from the top rope all the way to the floor on both of them. That's a cool spot. Back in the ring, Jeff Jarrett back body drops Shawn Michaels over the top rope onto the floor. That was like a Cactus Jack bump. That was crazy. And this, you know, when you find out later on Shawn Michaels are gonna have back problems, this is stuff like this is the reason why. That was a sick
Totally,
move.
totally.
Yeah, that's like if you think about it, how high he fell, that's like pretty much like 10 feet. He fell like 10 feet on his back. You know, he landed on his back. If you watch it, he didn't land on his feet. He landed on his fucking back. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Somewhere in this match, Vince McMahon's microphone goes out. So Jared King Lawler has to call it all by himself for a bit. But it eventually comes back. the roadie clotheslines. He gets involved a little bit. He clotheslines Shawn Michaels off the apron when the ref's not looking. A lot of quick covers, and then Jeff Jarrett hits a beautiful drop kick on Shawn Michaels, who is on the ropes at this point. However, Shawn Michaels starts firing back. He wishbones Jeff Jarrett on the ring post, but then when he gets up on the top rope, Roddy starts shaking the ropes and makes Shawn Michaels fall and crotch himself on the top turnbuckle. Then Jeff Jarrett climbs up to the top turnbuckle, grabs Shawn Michaels, and he suplexes him off the top. But Shawn Michaels is able to kick Jeff Jarrett into the referee. And when the referee is down, the roadie clips Shawn Michaels. So Shawn Michaels is down again. Roadie is now outside the ring, and he's going to trip up Shawn Michaels when he's running the ropes, but Shawn reverses it. So Roadie ends up tripping Jeff Jarrett instead, thinking that it was Shawn Michaels. Jeff Jarrett turns around and he starts complaining to Roadie, like, what the hell was that? And when he turns around, he walks right into Sweet Chin Music by Shawn Michaels to lose the title to Shawn Michaels. I gave this match an A. This is a must-watch match.
This match was fantastic. I think it's Jeff Jarrett's best match. It shows that Shawn Michaels is becoming the best worker in the world at this moment. Awesome match, and what makes it all the more frustrating is that I'm sure Vince is like, "Fucking wow, we saved this show. We gave people something to great," and then Jarrett just walks out and just completely fucks the whole show up. It's like it is kind of like a power move to have the best match of the show and then not do and then just quit the company like as soon as the match is over. But what a match, man! If you are a Jeff Jarrett hater, which is justified, and you think he's not good at anything, you should watch this match ASAP.
Yeah. This is that's the reason why I gave this an A, is because I agree with you. This is Jeff Jarrett's best match. I feel like, and if you want to know how he is as a performer, you need to watch this to see how he is.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah, and I also have to give Shawn Michaels the credit because I think a lot
Oh,
of people
Shawn Michaels is 100% like what keeps this match going. Yeah.
going into this match, I think a lot of people probably didn't care about a match between Jeff Jarrett and Shawn Michaels, and at the end, everyone's on their feet, and just tremendous, tremendous. And then he walks out, and then he leaves the company. He goes back because his dad lives in Nashville. Him and Rhodey get in the car, and they go to his dad's house. And Jerry Lawler calls Vince McMahon when he leaves the arena. He goes, "Jeff and Road Dogg are in their dad's hot tub, saying they're going to go to WCW." And Vince is like, over my dead body, they're going to WCW."
All right. Oh, so after this, we go back and we've got Barry Didinsky back in Shawn Michaels' locker room as all the good guys are celebrating with Shawn Michaels, and Barry starts selling Shawn Michaels. Let me ask you, would you wear this Shawn Michaels shirt in public?
No.
It's a picture of like a half naked Shawn Michaels just on t-shirt.
Dude, the Shawn Michaels merch was so like I'll just
It
say
was,
it was so fucking gay back then.
yeah.
It was like even if I was watching this religion like this 95 WWF is the best and I love Shawn Michaels. I don't think I would rather kill myself to walk into school with half of his fucking merch. Like what were they thinking?
Yeah, it's like a picture of Shawn Michaels half naked, just like in the front. It's just like it's super gay. If you're a
Yeah.
girl,
You
like
might be
I
able to get away
get
with it.
it. Yeah, you'll get away with it, but if you're a dude, it's
I
like
think
beat
as
down
a
titties.
girl could get away with it more now than back then.
I think I think if a guy was wearing that now, they'd probably get away with it too.
I think you could wear that shirt now going to either if you were going to like an AEW, if you were going to a wrestling event, you can get away with it. But I don't think you could wear that. Like I don't think I could wear that on stage.
It would be super distracting to the audience. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think if I went to an AEW show with it, I bought it that day and I still have it, I think people would be like, "Yeah, cool shirt, bro."
How about those red tinted heart sunglasses that Barry's selling? the Shawn Michaels sunglasses. How about
I'd wear those. I'd wear those, but
Yeah,
I'd wear
yeah.
like a different shirt. I'd wear like a DX shirt. I'd do like a whole tribute to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, okay. Doc, by the way, after this, Doc Hendricks, he's in the back and he's going like, he's annoying and yelling about like, oh, you would have just been what I saw. I saw Jeff Jarett and Roddy, they started fighting.
Oh,
And
so he
Jeff
had
put,
improv this.
oh, well,
He's
it's bad
improving this on the
improv.
fly.
Oh,
Vince said to him, "We're gonna cut to you. You're gonna just say the angle happened off screen, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing later on." So that's why he's acting like that. He literally is making it up as he goes along. This
oh, interesting. It's to me, it's very annoying, but I guess it's good
I mean,
improvisation by Doc Hendricks. Yeah.
I mean, if this was the plan, I'd hate it. I get that they're throwing a curveball, and he got an order from the boss of bosses to do this, and he's got to figure it out in 20 seconds what he's going to say and do. So I get
Sure.
it.
All right. Fair enough. That is fair.
Mhm.
Let's go to match number 5. It is for the tag titles. Champions Owen Hart and Yokozuna coming out with their whole crew of Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji versus the allied powers of Lex
Oh.
Luger and Davey Boy Smith, who get those Dudley Boy fireworks. You know, the ones that go from the stage to the
Mhm.
ring. They show
love
the
it.
Spanish announce table, and Jerry King Lawler says, "Hey, someone should ring his Taco Bell." I was like, "Yeah, Jerry, you say that."
Yeah,
Uh,
Jerry, keep spreading that bullshit.
yeah, Yokozuna and Lex Luger, they start the match. Wow, how far these guys have fallen. They used to be in the main event, you know?
Dude, how
Like a
dude,
year ago. A year ago, they're in the main event.
dude, what a waste of Lexi. What a waste.
Yeah. Lex Luger knocks down Yokozuna. When Yokozuna falls, though, he ends up falling on Owen's foot, and Owen hurts his foot. So Owen gets in the ring. They kind of get in a shoving match with Yokozuna. But Jim Cornette's able to, like, hey, calm them down. Then Davey Boy Smith is in there, and he backdrops Owen, who almost lands on his fucking head. That was a terrible looking back body drop. Luckily he doesn't land on his head, but Owen returns the favor by hitting a very nice looking enziguri on Davey Boy Smith. I will say this about Owen: he always had like a great enziguri. You know, he was
Yes.
the first guy to do it regularly, and he did it really well.
Listen, I never knocked his Instagram, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, bro.
Lex Luger hot tags in, and he starts cleaning up. Lex Luger and Davey Boy Smith they do a double back suplex on Yokozuna, which gets a huge applause. But when the referee is trying to get Davey back into his corner, Owen Hart goes up on top, and he jumps down and he hits Lex Luger, which allows Yokozuna to get up and hit his leg drop on Lex Luger to win the match clean. I gave this match a B. It wasn't a bad match. It was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining.
Just a complete waste of Lex Luger.
It's a waste of Lex Luger, and you're just showing that he's a loser because he just keeps losing. But
And then he
it
loses to
wasn't entertaining.
Yokozuna, and the big thing was, of course, he never actually beat Yokozuna ever, but he
Yeah,
loses to him. You know, they claim with Lex that they were gonna push him. So what happens, and we'll talk more about this at SummerSlam. British Bulldog turns on Diesel, turns heel. Then at the SummerSlam '95, Lex saves Diesel from Mabel, right? And then they kind of imply that Lex is going to help Diesel take on British Bulldog in the future. And then none of that happens because Lex takes off for WCW because he doesn't have a contract. I don't know why they clearly had the only plan they had for Lex is to turn him into a fucking jobber. I don't think he was going to get a title shot. I don't think he was factored into any plans long term. I think they've completely given up on Lex at this point. They held a grudge at him for years, but I don't blame Lex because what I see is someone who doesn't believe in me and a company that's going down the toilet. So why would I not go on Nitro?
true. I agree. That makes sense. So after Shawn Michaels having that fantastic match of the night, he has to pull double duty and he has to get on the hotline and talk to a bunch of fucking marks who
Tony Khan
can't be
called him.
called. Who can't
You think?
call?
I
Not
bet
only
you
can
Tony
they not.
Khan called the hotline.
Yeah, I bet you he did. By the way,
Yeah, I want to call the hotline.
He could talk to people from not just America. You could, if you're from Canada, you could call. If you're from Puerto Rico, you could call.
Mr. Michaels, okay, I have a quick. If my daddy gives me $1 billion and you're still wrestling in 2019, would you wrestle Ricochet in a 60-minute Iron Man match for me?
This, I'm telling you, in 20 years from now, there's gonna be a kid named Ricochet. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be amazing. Okay, all right. How about if we could get Murder Grandpa? Would you chop each other for me?
Murder Grandpa.
He's the only murder. He's Murder Man right now, but he'll be Murder Grandpa. Oh.
Which Joshi do you think will date me in the future?
Do you? There's a girl that wants to be a dentist. Do you think she'll blow me for title shots? Oh God, we're just brutal, dude. I've been DVRing Dynamite. I haven't watched Dynamite since before WrestleMania, and I put it on last night.
Yeah.
Bro, it's sad. It kind of does feel like WWF. You know, like when you put on WWF 94, you're like, you watch WWF in 89 and you put on 94 and you're like, this isn't the same thing at all. That's how Dynamite feels. It feels like a dying company, bro. It just feels like it's
to me, it actually feels like the dying year of like WCW.
Exactly. That's what it feels.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
it really does.
If you remember that last year where this is like after the whole Scott Steiner thing where they don't really reference WWF anymore. Like they stopped referencing WWF, right? They stopped doing the thing where they're taking jabs at WWF. And they're trying to do their own thing. They're still trying to do their own thing, but it's just like that magic is gone.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. The magic is gone. Like WCW that last year, no matter what they did, they just didn't seem cool. Nothing seemed cool. And remember, it wasn't bad. It was like I would watch it, big. This isn't bad. Like Shane Helms.
Well, they started having 2001. They really turned it around in terms of match quality. They started having great matches again. But it's too little, too late. Like you lost them.
Exactly. It's just like too late, and it just feels like nothing is cool enough. And I get that sense right now when I kind of see Dynamite. It's like something about it. Like I believe fans when they say that they're still having great matches on an AEW, and I believe them. But just something about it, it just doesn't seem cool anymore.
It just seems like a waste of time to watch. I've been home on a lot of Wednesdays. I never put it on. I only put it on because it was on my DVR and I jumped around. And watching Mercedes Moné, I mean, first of all, it's so apparent. Like, you know, they have the chants piped in, CEO. See, but then like after the chant stopped, there's just silence. There's just silence, and it's like this was supposed to be a star. Okada is just standing there looking like an idiot. Well, and like they're giving John Moxley like the 90th push, and the Dark Order's chasing him around. I'm like, bro, it's over. Like, I think the show they're never gonna come close to catching up to WWF ever.
They need to stop putting Moxley in the main. They really need to stop doing that.
Well, they had to retire Daniel Bryan, so he's not going anywhere.
I know that's.
I couldn't believe they did. And they said it was Daniel Bryan's idea. I'm like, I don't think this guy has good ideas because every time something stupid happens with him, they're like, well, that was his idea. And I'm like, okay, people stop listening to this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. Man, anyway.
Well, you know what else is a stupid idea? Well, kind of stupid is this lumberjack match. There's so many fucking. We talked about this the last pay-per-view.
Did you notice Jerry Lawler out and out says this is the first time we've had a lumberjack match on pay-per-view, like throwing shit at WCW, and I'm like, well, technically they're right because WCW called it a lifeguard match. They didn't call it a lumberjack.
That's true. Fair enough. Yeah. But something about like they just love lumberjack matches. The lumberjacks, they do come down as Todd Pettengill starts recapping all the issues between Sid and Diesel, the history. The lumberjacks, some of them you'll see that you haven't saw in the match, like the Heavenly Bodies, they're still there.
Triple H is finally on WWE pay-per-view.
The Blue Brothers, the $1 Million Corporation, Men on a Mission, Henry Godwin, Radford is one of the fucking lumberjacks. Skip from the Bodies Done.
Chris Candido's finally here, brother.
Yeah. Mantar is one of the.
He was also in the Rumble though. So this is not his
but he is one of the lumberjacks, as you mentioned. Triple H, Bam Bam Bigelow, Duke the Dumpster, Drosy is one of the lumberjacks, Razor Ramon, and we can't forget Fatu make a difference. He is also one of the lumberjacks.
The bloodline's going strong.
Yeah, this is my least favorite version of Fatu. The make a difference.
He tried to make a difference as a lumberjack.
I hated this Fatu. This is my least favorite guy.
Oh
Version of
God,
him.
dude, it's about to get really
Yeah.
bad. We're gonna see him wrestle a
By
few
the way,
matches in the
that was
fall.
his name. Like it was Fatu make a difference. That was his full wrestling name.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is,
because he grew up in the hood and he wants to like help people in the hood, so he's gonna make a
I would
difference.
say that's the worst wrestling name of all time.
I know.
Hey,
They should bring it back. They should have it. They should have Jimmy Uso be Jimmy Uso make a difference.
make a difference. Make a difference, Fatu. That's his fucking name. That's like having a wrestler named like solve this math problem, Moxley.
That's it. You know what it is too. That's only a thing that Vince would come up with. Vince would be like, "We should call you." You know what I'm saying? Fatu make it. That's like so Vince.
It should be like a what's for lunch, Otis. Like, all these fucking-
Well, I want him to make a difference.
All right, let's go to our final match, the main event, lumberjack match for the WWF title. Sid comes down with Ted DiBiase versus the champion Diesel, who comes down with Shawn Michaels. Sid attacks Diesel right away, and Diesel just starts returning the favor. Sid sends Diesel out the ring, and the heels start beating on Diesel really hard. So Shawn Michaels climbs up the apron and he just launches himself on top of all the heels. And then I don't know if you noticed this. As Sid beats on Diesel in the ring, Mantar starts mooing. And I don't know if you know this. Throughout this entire match, if you listen, every like few like minutes, every other minute, you hear Mantar go.
Because Vince told him to.
Yeah, you can totally tell. It's like Vince told him to. When you're out there, you gotta moo like every other minute. You hear this like moo sound literally like every fucking minute. It's really funny.
It
It's
is
really
really funny.
Yeah. Diesel fights back and then he launches himself into the heel lumberjack. Then Mabel pulls Diesel out the ring and he squashes Diesel up against the post and starts beating on him, foreshadowing a future feud between these two.
Yeah, which is coming next month.
Yeah, Sid powerbombs Diesel, but then instead of going for the cover, he decides to high five all the heel lumberjacks except for Dr. Tom Pritchard. And if you watch it, Tom's like looking for a high five because he's giving everybody a high five, and then he just leaves Tom Pritchard, and Tom's like starts looking at his hand. It's really funny. You gotta
That's
check it out.
funny.
You see him in the corner. You see him all the way in the corner, like just going, "Oh, he left me hanging." Anyways, because he didn't cover him, Diesel starts fighting back. Sid gets mad for some reason, and he decides to attack the good guy lumberjacks. Shawn Michaels goes up on the top turnbuckle, and he comes down with a double axe handle on Sid Vicious, throws him back in the ring. Diesel just starts beating on the lumberjacks who try to come into the ring. Diesel then he hits a shitty big boot on Sid and then covers him for the win. After this match, Diesel and Mabel kind of get into it. I gave this match a C. It was not a good match.
This was not good. I feel like this was a waste of Sid. It is what it is, though. And the other thing about this, I kind of feel like they thought like, well, it's good because I will say this. It was smart to have people get involved and do spots with people like Mabel and Sean, like have everyone like kind of interact. But I just feel like you've killed Sid. You've killed Sid before you even gotten any money out of it. So. Yeah, I thought the match sucked. Overall, besides the Jeff Jarrett stuff, which is also interesting from a historical perspective, it's a waste of a show.
Yeah, I would say like there is definitely a match you should watch if you're a wrestling fan. If you want to see a really good Jeff Jarrett match, this is Jeff Jarrett versus Shawn Michaels is the only thing you should watch. The rest of this card, totally forgettable. Don't watch the rest of this stuff. It's not good.
Makes me sick. All right, guys. That's this week. Next week, we're going to Korea. It's Collision in Korea. with Ric Flair versus Antonio Inoki. In 2 weeks, it's SummerSlam 95. King Mabel versus Diesel. In 2 weeks, no, in 3 weeks, it's Fall Brawl 95. The Hulkamaniacs versus Dungeon of Doom. In 4 weeks, it is In Your House 3, featuring Diesel and Shawn versus Bulldog and Yokozuna. What are you looking forward to, brother?
I guess Collision in Korea. I actually kind of really want to see that because it's gonna be a nice change of pace. We're actually gonna get to see different wrestlers that we haven't seen, like from Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling. What about you?
I heard that's not a good show, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That's the biggest crowd ever because Kim Jong Un forced everyone to go, so it's the biggest crowd ever. So that'd be interesting to see. I'm interested in SummerSlam '95 because of the Shawn Razor ladder match. That's the rematch ladder match.
Oh yeah, that should be good too.
I remember that being really good.
Mhm.
And then I have more. I also am interested in Fall Brawl '95 because it's Arn Anderson versus Ric Flair, which Arn Anderson has said is his best and favorite match. The only time those two ever fought, so that should be fun. So yeah, In Your House 3, I'm interested in because it'll be short. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. It's like 2 hours probably.
Guys,
All right.
if you enjoy the show, subscribe. Leave us a comment, leave us a review. Goots' Wrestling Pod. Follow me, Ray Goots, on all social. Follow Andrew Sonali on all the socials. Thank you so much for watching the show, listening to the show. We'll see you next week. We're going to be in Korea, North Korea, baby. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for listening. Andrew Libro for life. Thank you, guys.
Make a difference.
Make a difference.